Hey everybody, it's Tiffany here. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited to share this. It's a new take on one of my most popular videos. This is my own idea, and yeah, I will link that first video below. This is the original one. Oh, let me show you what I made it with first. So this traveler's notebook, chunky, cute little guy, is made with one of these simple little photo albums from the Dollar Tree. Can you believe that? Yes, and I will show you how to do it. But this is the original one that I made a few years ago, and I just covered the little notebooks in pretty paper. Some little notebooks from the Dollar Tree, which they don't have anymore, but I will show you some options for that. And then I kind of manipulated that plastic cover and covered my little journals, added the elastics, of course, to make it a traveler's notebook. But this one I've changed somewhat, made it a little more sturdy, and I actually put the papers on the inside of the plastic cover. So yeah, it has more of a sturdy cover. And since yeah, we're not able to get the 4x6 notebooks from the Dollar Tree anymore, I do have some options for you. Let's see here. So I actually found these ones from Michael's, and they are pretty cute. They're not super thick. They're 30 pages each, and they are $4 for the 3-pack, but you can easily get a 20% off coupon most days there. So that would be $3 for 3. These ones are from Target, Dollar Spot, and I got them a few months ago, and I am not sure if they have them anymore. But they're a decent thickness, so $1 each there. 4x6 as well. Also, Joann's has these that are 4 by 5.8, so almost 6 inches tall. They're close enough, and they're pretty cute already. But they are about $2.50 each. They're in the Violet Studio section, the little bins where they have their like less expensive items. I want to say dollar bins, but they're not $1. They're about $2.50 each. But they regularly go on sale. I got these. Let's see, they were buy 2 and get 3 free. So they were $2.50 each, and that made it $5 for 5 notebooks. So that's not too bad of a price. But by far the most economical way to do this is to cut your own. So I use just a composition notebook, and I cut it down to size, and I have made a video for that. And I'll link it below. All you need is a metal ruler and a box cutter. And watch for the composition notebooks to go on sale any day now. They're going to start going on sale for back to school. At Walmart, you can get them for 50 cents, and anywhere like Target or probably office supply stores. So yeah, be sure and check that video out, because I will cut one composition notebook down, and so it's the size, and then I'll split it in half to make 2 notebooks, and so that's 50 cents to make 2 little notebooks. And then I make kind of a little bit of a junk journal in the front of my book, so that makes 3 little notebooks. So let's see, that's all I needed to tell you. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I've got some papers cut already. Move some of this. The collection I'm using today is from Simple Stories. It's the new Simple Vintage Linen Market. This is so beautiful. It's got stuff that looks like fabric on it. You can see the stitching here on this one. I actually did some real stitching with some gold thread around the edges of this one. Isn't that pretty? Sorry, the glare is kind of tricky working with the plastic here, but I think that turned out so cute. So I've used the collection kit. I also did get what's it called? The collector's essential kit. I'm not thrilled with it because the colors are really off. Some of the blues look purple. I wish I would have just gotten 2 of these, to be honest. But I also used some of the gingham. And I've also, very important, got the 4x6, the 6x8 paper pad. And that is the perfect size to cover one of the 4x6 notebooks. You don't have to trim it down or anything. It's already the right size. I love that. Okay, so I started filming this video and I had a hiccup. So I've already got my cover cut, and this is just, let's see, I've got some little notes for you here. The cover is 6 1/4 wide. Oh, sorry. 6 1/4 tall by 4 1/8 wide. And isn't that neat paper with all the stitching in it? I love that. And then I cut out one of the little tags. Sorry, I can't show it to you. There are 2 that have the yellow with the flowers on it. And this one, yeah, I've already glued it on, but yeah, it's definitely stuck in there, so I can't show you. But this is just one of the 4x6 cut aparts. So I just cut that out, trim the top and bottom a tiny bit. And I backed the tag on a little bit of craft paper, so it would kind of, you know, give it a little more dimension and make it stand out a little bit better. Yep, and I've got some of the gold stitching already done on this as well. Just glued those pieces together, added a little sticker here, and a little piece of the trim that I showed in my last video that I got from Temu. Okay, this is going to be my back cover. It's just one of the cut aparts, one of the 4x6 cut aparts. And it's not quite as big as this piece, but I'm not too worried about the back. So, all right, and then for the cover, for the spine, I've got a piece of chipboard here. It's kind of a medium weight chipboard. You could use, I would not use a cereal box. I don't think it's quite sturdy enough, but if you have something in your pantry that's a little more sturdy than your regular cereal box, you want it to be pretty sturdy, so it's not gonna bend out of shape. But that is 1 1/8 and 6 3/8 tall, or just, you know, as tall as your plastic cover. Okay, I've gone ahead and glued some pattern paper to the front and the back of that. I just glued it. Now, let's see, where is I've got one of my little photo albums. Already, I just pulled the paper out of it's open on the side, so I just pulled the decorative paper out that I don't love of both sides, and I've gone ahead and I cut one side already. In my original video, I just ripped the pages out, and that's pretty easy, like that. But this is faster. And I did leave a few pages in for like a little scrapbook in the back of that video, but this one I'm taking them all out. I just want kind of a cleaner look. I'm going to flip it to the back. So, okay, so just flip that over so you can see exactly where you're cutting against. Sorry, I've got a little owie on my finger. I cut it earlier doing the dishes. Is that crazy? Anyway, just take your scissors and cut right next to that plastic, being really careful. Put my glasses on. Being really careful that you don't cut your clear plastic. Just cut as close as you can to that. And that's it. So that's your cover. And this does show a tiny bit. You can try to trim the best you can. but I did try to pull this off and it did rip one of my covers, but I'll show you how it looks. It shows just a little bit right here. It kind of looks like a piece of lace or something, and it doesn't bother me, but you could probably try to trim off a tiny bit off of the top so it doesn't show as much. This one doesn't seem to be as high. Well, actually, yeah, this one's not quite as high up, but anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. But yeah, be gentle because you will rip that. So all we need to do is slip our covers in. And I have rounded the corners on these two corners. And I am going to round the corners, and then it doesn't matter which one's the front or back unless, you know, unless one is like less scuffed or something. Push it all the way in as far as it will go. And I will take my corner chomper and use the 1/4 inch, and this isn't necessary if you don't have a corner chomper, and you can use, you know, your scissors or some like nail clippers or something. And the corner chomper doesn't really even cut it all the way, it just kind of gives you a guide. And I'll just take my scissors and finish that up. Like that. It's kind of just like hanging on there. I don't, yeah, you don't need to round your corners, but I just like rounded corners better than square corners. You can also round the corners of your notebook with your, you know, if you cut them down with your corner chompers. Takes a little while, and I didn't choose to do that this time because I didn't want to take the time. This is a little bit more time-consuming project, but I think it's worth it. I love traveler's notebooks. I love to keep notes, keep them, you know, one by my desk to keep notes in, one by my bed. Use it as a planner, journal, making your grocery lists, to-do lists. Okay, so there's that. Now, I'll go ahead and stick that in there too. Pushing it all the way in. Like I said, that's not quite as big as the front, but I'm not worried about the back as much. And I just used a piece that I didn't really care about for the back, but I do think that bingo is cute. All right, so our spine, I didn't show you my little charms that I made. This is one of my charms that I've made out of polymer clay and a little mold. So I do have a video. I'll link that below too. Remind me if I forget. I do have a video for making jewelry for your journals. Okay, let's see if I put that on the right side. Yes. Okay, so that's a good part of our cover is finished. Now, what I like to do with my spine to make it extra sturdy and protected is to take some packing tape, pull out a good strip that's a couple inches longer than your spine, and turn it so the sticky side is up. And let's see, this is the part that I want on to show on my back here. Right here. Is that paper just so cute? Oh. And just gonna place that down. So this is gonna be my inside. Let's see, that looks good. Leaving a good, you know, 1/2 inch on every side. And then I'll just trim the corners. So they're, oh, maybe 1/8 of an inch away from that corner. Show you that. See, there we go. Okay, and then just fold that up nice and tight. And that will keep your, if we were to just glue that on or stick that on to your plastic cover, there is a good chance that your chipboard would separate from itself into layers. So this kind of keeps that from happening. Just pressing those corners in like that. Just fold that up like that. Okay. So, and then I'm just going to cover that with some, I think I'll use some score tape in the center. You want to use your best, stickiest tape for this, not the cheap stuff. All right, so I've got some red tape, the terrifically tacky, whatever it's called. I've got a couple different brands here, and I'll see if I can find them to link them, but yeah, the red tape. And it's only red on the cover, what do you call it? You peel the red part off. Just stick it down and it's clear underneath. So let's see. I wonder if I have a wider one that I should be using. Let me see here. Let's do this one. This is 1/4 of an inch. I think that's a 1/2 inch. Let's see if this fits here. It should. Perfect. Get that as close to the outside edge as you can. And I'm probably going to skip ahead so you don't have to watch me cover this whole thing. Okay, I've got it all covered, and I am peeling off the last piece of backing. So you can see the backing was red, but the tape is not red. Okay, now, let's see. What we want to do is, okay, I want to make sure that's pushed all the way to the end here, as far as it will go. And I'm going to take my paper trimmer. You can use your scoreboard if you have one. I don't have mine out right now, so I will just use my paper trimmer. I'm going to set this aside so I don't get it stuck to anything. And I'm going to score so this is my front here, so I'm going to flip that this way. Let's see, is that the way I want to go? Yeah, that's fine. And I want to score my plastic just like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch away from the end of my paper here. So I'm going to line that up about there. And just score my plastic. Okay. Then I'm going to fold on that score. You can see it. You can see it's about that, well, about that far away. It'll focus. All right. And lining up your sides to make sure everything is straight. And just kind of feel where that score is. And then go ahead and use your bone folder or the back of your scissors. Being kind of careful not to mar your plastic, but give it a good burnish so you'll have a nice sharp fold there. Perfect. Okay, now I take my spine. Let's see, I think it'll help me if I line it back up here. It's straight, and try to line my spine up this side. Straight as you can. I'm going to go right against where this white line, well, actually I'm going to put my fold on that white line so I can see it better, so I can see where I need to put this. And see if I can get it on straight. This is the tricky part. Yeah, definitely put some kind of your like your grid sticky mat or something under it. Okay, that looks good. Perfect. Then burnish that down really well on both sides. That tape does kind of turn your paper a little bit yellow, but you don't really see this part very much. You don't have to cover it if you don't want to, if it's just for you. Doesn't look totally straight, but you know, you do the best you can. Okay, and then we just need to score this side, so I'll just put that in my paper trimmer to make sure it's straight and go as close to that spine as you can. Do the same thing on that side. Okay, you probably could just like fold it over right against the edge of your spine and burnish that down. There we go. There is your cover. Is that so cute? Oh, I love that. Darling, I love this paper. I love the butterflies with the floral inside of them. Simple Stories is so good. She's so talented. I am lucky to live in Utah because I get to go, you know, to their warehouse sales and things like that. Let's see where I am. Now we just need some holes in our spine. So I'm using my handy tool. I love this tool. I use it so much. I'll link it. I've got some paper stuck in there. Ooh, I better put my little cover on my pokey tool before I hurt myself again. You do tend to get your paper stuck in here because of the layers of sticky stuff, but yeah. I did make a little template. I haven't decided if it would be easier to just, you know, mark some whatever, circles, marks on your spine or not. But all I did was cut this, you know, the same size as my spine. And then I went down 1/4 of an inch, made a line. 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom, made a line. Folded it in half. Marked the center here with my pencil. Marked here and here. Punched holes there. And then I folded it in half this way. Like that. And then mark here for your holes and here for your holes. So you'll have 3 holes on the top, 3 holes on the bottom, and then 1 in the center here. And if you haven't ever made a traveler's notebook, they're super fun because, I mean, if you fill up one of your journals, then you can just pull it out and replace it. And since the covers are not attached, because the elastic is holding them in, you can keep your cover and just take out your paper. Then you could stitch it up if you wanted or something. Or punch some holes in it like I do when I do my junior size composition notebooks and tie a ribbon through it if you wanted to keep it, you know, if it was more of a journal. Anyway, I get sidetracked. Where was I? Holes. So yeah, I've been using this as like a template, but I think it would be maybe just as easy to mark your holes here with a Sharpie. So 1/4 of an inch up and down, and then they're 1/4 of an inch away from each other as well. So I'll just go ahead and use that. I have been trying to kind of like hold it in place with, let's see, it's probably easier to do from the back. Kind of clip it in place like that, and then I'm using the smaller holes on my corner chomper. And it is handy to use your little measurement guide and get that at 1/4 of an inch. So that it will only go up that far. And then they'll be pretty even. You can see right where that hole is. Oh yeah, that's a little bit low. I guess I didn't have mine marked. I guess I didn't have it quite at 1/4 of an inch, but anyway, at least they'll be even along the bottom. If that makes sense, I don't know. Sometimes I don't make any sense. Okay, yeah, it just gets stuck in there with all that adhesive. Just poke it out. Kind of line that up again. And yeah, you just do your best. And if they're not perfectly spaced, you know, you don't really see the holes very much. That's not bad. Once you get your elastic put through it. So I might adjust that just a smidge. Let's see. Okay. I think I've got that adjusted a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Oh, okay. Sorry. This takes a little bit of time here. Okay, that looks really good. And the elastic will help hold everything together as well once you get that in. So I'm making like confetti here. All right. So all we need to do is put our elastics in, and we need a yard for the spine part, and then we need a 1/2 yard for the to wrap around. And all we have to do here is going from the outside on the top towards the inside. Pull that down so you've got maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches hanging out there. Okay, and then take that first end again and put it through the bottom left, going from the inside to the outside. And then we'll go over to the center hole there that's on the bottom. Okay, so we've got our first string there. Pull that a little tighter. And then we'll take that first piece again and go up to the top center hole, going from the inside to the outside. And then we'll go across again to the top right hole. Bring that straight down to the bottom right hole, going from the inside to the outside. Okay, so you can see you've got 2 little loops and then your 2 strings. Now, so we've got 3 strings so far. Now we need to make a 4th one. So this is kind of the trickier part. What you're going to do is take this middle string at the bottom, or either side, I guess you can do now, and you've got to put this little piece back into that center hole. So you're kind of pulling this one to the side so you can get that one in there. And you may need to trim it a bit if it's gotten frayed. All elastics are kind of different. I really like this. This gold one, I forgot to tell you, is from Hobby Lobby, and I have no idea if they have it anymore. I've had it for a while. Oops. But yeah, does it say the size? It says 1/16 of an inch. So 1.59 millimeters, if that helps. But Any elastic cording should work. Oh, they used to have like bolts of it in white and black at Joann's. Okay, where am I? All right, and then we'll do the same thing on the top. We're going to hold that center one over. Oops, get a hold of that. Okay, pull that to the side, to your right side. Coming in here from the left. Hope you can see that. Yeah, this is the hardest part. Just trying to get that doubled up. I'm going to hold it with my other hand. There we go. Okay. And then, oh my gosh, this is so cute, you guys. And then you have to kind of fiddle with it and make sure it's all pretty tight. You don't want it like so much that you're gonna bow your plastic, but just nice and taut. So it holds your books in. Have to kind of figure out which ones are coming from which direction. And then all I need to do is tie those two pieces together in the center. And that's your 4 strings. And I usually put my little folder on this one that has the tie, because it's your folder's different. You have your 3 notebooks on these three strings. Anyway, gosh, I can't even remember. Did I walk through this yet with you? I filmed this video a couple of times now, and so I can't remember what I've done in which video, but I guess I just showed you a little bit, huh? This is my junk journal. I've just got a bunch of different papers in here. Some of them I've just cut down. This is some paper that I dyed by hand. Some of my linen paper that I've linked in other videos. I can try to link that as well. I just dyed it with some blue Rit dye, and then I added some, just like they do tea dyed paper, and I spritzed it with some gold spray. And that's a little glassine bag that I ran through my, oh, what's it called? Sorry, I'm getting tired. Used, yeah, and embossing. I embossed it. Okay, sorry. Got a cute little piece of trim here. This is, oh, I forgot to tell you, this is a piece of vintage wallpaper from my mom. I wanted something that wasn't more patterned, but I didn't want more color. So anyway, I just love this paper collection. So pretty. An old, this was some garbage that I picked up off the floor at church the other day and brought it home because I felt bad that people were littering. And then I thought, oh, I should just tuck that inside my junk journal. But yeah, I'll do in my next, this is going to be part 2, when I do the inside of the notebook, the junk journal and stuff. Some old book pages. This piece is from my stash from the girls' papery that I've had for probably 15 years. This is one of the, what do they call it? Let's see. From the layered bits and pieces that comes in the collector's kit. Hopefully I haven't already flipped through this during this filming. If I have, you can just skip on ahead. I'm getting, really tired. This is from the girls' papery also. I just thought it went so well. I wanted some extra, full pieces to make my little folders with. So I do have a video doing like double folders. I'll link that, but this is just a single one. But it's the same, just the inside that I do in that video, just a different dimension, different size. Isn't that cute? Put whatever you want in there. You can put old magazine pages. fold envelopes, fold it in half like that. Okay, and then this is the first regular journal. Like I said, I take the full composition book and I divide it in half to make 2. So that's 2 right there. So it's pretty good thickness. And I made another folder here. This is also from my stash. Same girls papery. Here's another of the 4x6. No, 3x4 cut aparts. 3x4. That's what this one is too. I don't know if I said that right. The 3x4 cut aparts. So cute. Same here. Those are the 3x4s. Cut apart sheets. Just added lots of fun trims. Love my pom-pom trims. This one's from Hobby Lobby. I used this in my winter traveler's notebook that I did out of the shirt box. So yeah, super fun. So it's so easy to just take one of your 4x6 papers. Let's see. I'm going to do this one again. I love this one. All the distressing. And I've got one of my little cut down notebooks, composition notebooks. And just fold that in half. And there is your journal. I mean, how easy is that? If it's a little small, add some trim and that will cover up if your papers are poking out of the center. Okay, and then just slide that on in, and that, put 3 of those in there and you've got your traveler's notebook, and then make a little folder. And yeah, my next part 2, I will show you how I do my junk journals and all the trims and things like that, ribbons. But yeah, so much fun, and a pocket. I'll show you how to, well, actually, maybe I'll do let's see, what time am I at? Yeah, I've made pretty good time, so I think maybe I will show you the pocket. I've got a few, the tags, they have like a full sheet of tags, and so you can just fold them up like that and make like a little booklet. Just cut the tops. That's really fun. So for my little pocket, let's see. I'll probably use the same paper. That's easy. Okay, as you can see, I used this little piece of this paper for this pocket. And I don't want to cut that butterfly, so there's another page that's very similar, this one. And since you probably don't have any vintage wallpaper at your house, this is the same kind of, very simple background that you could put here. So I might just go ahead and do that instead of getting out, well, yeah, I might do that later and find my vintage wallpaper, but for you could just cut another piece of this the same size as this, and I might go ahead and do that now. But so that's your 6 1/4 by 4 1/8. You could cut from here and or here. And then I'm going to cut a little square from this corner for the pocket here. So let's see. Let me measure that real quick. It's about 3 1/2 by 2 3/4. And then we want to add a 1/2 inch onto both sides. So let's see. So that would make it 3 3/4. Maybe I should write that down. Let's see, pocket. Okay, so our pocket will be 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And yeah, I'll go ahead and cut that. Okay, let's see. 3, which way? So it was 3 3/4 wide. I should cut this off or leave it. Let's see, I think I want it to go this direction. So yeah, I guess I'll cut off that branding strip. Save that. You might want it for some trim somewhere. Okay, and then 3. Let's see, which way am I going? 3 3/4 this way. 3 1/4 this way. And that doesn't have to be exact. This way. 3 3/4. And just cut a little square out of the corner of that paper. And then you can, at the same time, cut your 6 1/4 by 4 1/8 out of, you know, wherever you want right here. Like maybe that corner for the other side. Or you can just leave the blue on the back. It does make it really nice and really sturdy if you double up on that paper. Okay, which way did I want to go? All right, so, I didn't do that quite right for some reason. Can't talk when I'm measuring. And then I'll do a score at 1/2 inch on the bottom. That's my bottom. And somehow I didn't get it quite wide enough, but that's okay. I'm just going to score it at 1/4 inch, but if you measured it correctly and you have, let's see, that is 3 1/4. Okay. Sorry. Let me measure that one more time for you. Make sure we've got that right. I might have just written it down wrong. Okay, that is 3 1/4. So that needs to be 3 3/4. And that one is, if you can see it, so 3 oh, so I did it backwards. Okay, I see. So it's 3 3/4 wide. That's what I thought. What did I do? 3 1/4. So it should be 3 1/4 tall. Yeah. I think I did do it opposite, but that's okay. Yeah. I did it backwards, but no worries. I'll still show you how to do it, and then I just fold on those 2 little scores and trim off that little square. Well, it's more of a rectangle. Trim that off and make it so that they're not going to be, looks okay, so they're not overlapping each other. You can't, I would normally glue a pocket on like this, but I don't think glue would hold here. And if you just made a square without the flaps and put that on with some of your red tape, whatever you put in that pocket is just going to get stuck to that red tape. So that's why I make the little flaps for the sides. Okay, and you could do a 3-sided one too, because sometimes things kind of fall out there. That's why I've kind of made that thicker like that. And then I'm just going to cut off a little corner, and this is optional. Cut off a little corner and round it just a little bit, and I think that just makes it really cute. Okay, and that is all there is to it. And then you can use some red tape, and let's see, I better move my paper trimmer. Where did I put my red tape? Found it. And I would add it closer to your score mark. Trim that off just a little bit at an angle. Also this side just a little bit at an angle like that. Okay, and then I might use, let's see, is that gonna fit? Yeah, that'll fit. Okay, burnish that down. And you can really make your pocket whatever size you want, as long as it fits in there, in your space that you've got. And I do like to round those corners a little bit. Hopefully I don't get my corner rounder all gummed up. I should have done that before I peeled off the backing. Maybe I'll stick that one back on because it's a little close. Okay. And there you go. I like to leave a little edge showing of that background paper. So that is a little busy to me, so I would go ahead and slide in a piece of the white, and you can leave a little border of the blue around it if you wanted to cut your white down just a little bit like I've done here. Got a little bit of yellow border around it. So, anyway, yeah. So much fun. I will be making the inside part tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get that uploaded in the next day or two. Thanks so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and share it. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.